Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me at The Lonely Vine. I hope everybody had a safe and festive and wine-filled Labor Day. And we're past Labor Day night now, so I guess we can't wear white anymore. Something like that. Does that even still apply? I don't know. I hope if you haven't got a chance to watch last week's Spreecast episode that I did with Jeff Solomon from Jeff is Rad, or the StayRadWineblogTV.com. I hope you get a chance to watch it. It is, it's a hair long at 40 minutes, but it was it was one of those things that was fun to watch. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, obviously, but it was fun to watch because it was just some guys with some wine just hanging out and talking wine. It was kind of fun for us to do. Hopefully we'll do one again. Maybe even try to do a live one, which could be a lot of fun. So anyway, time to go on to what's next. What's next for me is a blind tasting tonight. It's been a while since I've done one. And I'm ready to go. I think I did B a couple weeks ago. I don't know. This one looks like this is D. So we're going to get right into it. It's not starting off good. Not good at all. Red wine glass, white wine. So, hold on a second. I just assumed it was red. I didn't do any prep work apparently. So, all right, let's get right into it. Hey, a white wine. All right, so color-wise, we have the typical straw yellow we see a lot. Not a whole lot of gold in it. It is yellow throughout, and I'm not seeing any real sense of grain to it. It's got a good, nice clean, nice clear, good sparkle. Not that it's sparkling. So yeah, looking good so far. So if there was a little bit of green in it, we may expect that it was from a cooler wine region. This one, like I said, it doesn't seem to have that green tint to it. And since there's no gold, that tells us a little bit too. Let's get my nose into this bad boy. It's been a while since I've had a white wine, I think. A lot going on in this one. Really good nose to it. It seems like there might be a little bit of body to this wine, actually. It seems like it just has that sense. Definitely getting some minerality out of it. It does seem more, I thought at first it was going to be very fruit driven, but it seems more earth and mineral driven. I'm definitely getting some peach, a lot of peach. That's really the first thing that's really jumping out at me. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit of that minerality. And when I say that minerality, I've talked about that on quite a few of the wines that I've tasted here, but it's that really, that out in the street after a rain, that kind of wet concrete, wet kind of street kind of smell. That's what I'm picking up. Not nearly as much as peach. I mean, millions of peaches could be playing as the theme song when they're making this wine. I think I am getting a little bit of Fruit Loops, a little bit of kids cereal in this one. And I've tried to show this before. I don't know how well it shows up, but as I'm spinning this, when I stop, you can see how long it kind of takes to settle down. And it's moving a little slow when it's going to settle down. It seems like there might be a little bit of weight to this. I've said that a couple times, so unfortunately, I tend to go places right away, and I'm doing that with this one right now. Yeah, so definitely, I'm getting that, the peaches, I'm getting, there's a bit of a honey kind of thing to it. I'm getting that Fruit Loop kind of smell, and I'm getting a little bit of, and this one's gonna sound weird and probably not sound too appetizing, but I'm getting a little bit of that. When I was a kid, for a little brief time, I was into models, like making models, like model airplanes, and the glue that you would use on it had this like orangey kind of smell to it. Like think of like the orange-based cleaner that you use, or that orange glue that you may have used when you were a kid. I'm getting that kind of sense. It's an orange, but it's kind of this fake kind of orange thing. Okay, that's quite a bit on the nose. Let's see what's going on with the palate. Okay, so, kind of some of the things I was noticing on the site is that there's a little bit more weight than what you're usually used to with a white wine. White wine, you usually think, they cleanse a palate really quick. It's really light, it's really refreshing. That's not what I'm getting with this one. This one has a little bit of weight to it. The acidity isn't as high as I would expect out of, say, a Riesling, which I don't think this is. On the tail end, this is I was anticipating a red wine, so I haven't chilled this one at all, so this is right at room temperature. But there is this little catch on kind of the finish. It's a little bit of bitterness going on. Nothing, it's not bad in any shape. I like it. If you've watched the show before, I could see this pairing with s'mores. Imagine that. Okay, so I'm pretty confident on the grape, but where I'm kind of struggling with right now. I'm gonna say this is a New World wine, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna go U.S. and I'm gonna go California on this one. The grape I'm gonna say is Viognier, and the year I will say is 2009. And every time I feel somewhat confident, outside of like one or two, I've been horribly, horribly wrong. So with that, it is an old world wine. It is the 55. It is Viognier, and it is Languedoc. So it is south of France. Looks like $12.99 for the bottle. Alcohol percentage 12.5. So, I knew the grape right off the bat. I wasn't too sure on where it was from, With as much as I was talking about the minerality and that, probably should have guessed Old World. And it's funny, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but when I went to my level 1 class in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I remember, part of it was you stand up in groups, like a line of you stand up, and you have to go through the blind tasting of the wines. And at the time, I had never had a Viognier that I knew of. And I had to be the one that did the final guess. And so, like, the 3 people before me, they got the smells, and, it was like the first person did sight, the second person did smell, and then the third person did palate, the fourth person did initial guesses, so they'd say, a couple grapes that it could be, and then the last person did the final. So the last person kind of pulled everything that everybody said beforehand, and this was the first time we had done it. So you're standing in front of the class, and I'd never had it before, so I'm smelling it, I'm just like, I have no idea. I'm tasting it, I have no idea. And everybody's like rattling off the stuff they think, and the person before me is like, Viognier, and didn't even say another grape. And then it gets to me, and I totally blanked on everything that she said. I was silent, just staring. It was like, nightmare of public speaking 101. I had to straight lean over and be like, what was that grape you said? And but it's funny. It just made me think of that when I was tasting this one. And now, I can immediately, in this one, I picked it up right away. I knew right what it was. I got to work on where, though, a little bit better. So, sorry for that little tangent. I hope you kind of enjoyed it. It's something that brings a smile to my face. But let's move on. Let's see. Question for the show. Based on that story, tell me, or no, not tell me. What is one of the first wines that you remember having that really created a memory for you, especially with relation to like what the grape was? Was it a Riesling that just blew you away? Was it a Cab that just blew you away? Or was it some kind of nonsense story like I just made you sit through? So what was a memorable grape variety story? I didn't say varietal. Grape story. So that's it. Get a little bit more here because it is pretty good. And until next time, everybody.